Yeah, so before we wrap up today, I wanted to invite another friend of mine. I'm going to scoot over here. Sister Kathy Green is joining me.
Hey.
Kathy, I wanted to invite Kathy before we wrapped up today to talk a little bit about involving children in missions. You've heard a couple of worthy causes that are coming up. And of course, again, we realize there are a lot of opportunities for children to be involved in missions giving. And so, Kathy, uh, I hope it's not offensive. Can I say it, everybody? I referred to
Sure.
Kathy as the Children's Ministry OG. Some of you might know what that means, but Kathy has been around for a long time.
Long time.
She has served faithfully in children's ministry, and we are grateful for her. And so there's nobody better that I can think of to talk to you about the idea of involving kids in missions. So welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Sean. There's three things that we do when we want to involve children in mission giving. First, when we have a project, they have to know how the people in that country live.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you for sharing with us about El Salvador, seeing the children there. It's been great. One of our early projects that we did in Helping Hands for Kids was about Egypt. And so what we did one night in our children's ministry is for our snack, we made a Egypt McDonald's sandwich. The little I said it earlier, McFlawful.
McFlawful, that's
yes,
fun.
we made those that night. Now, some of the kids ate them, but most of them didn't. But it let them know that there's McDonald's in Egypt, just like we have McDonald's here. So that was one of the fun things we did that night with that project. Through the years, we've done other projects involving the kids with what goes on in that country. The second thing we want to do when we involve children is to teach them to pray for that area. Mm-hmm. Pray for the needs. And one of the greatest needs that children has is the need of salvation. We focused on Venezuela a few years ago, mm-hmm. and we have picture cards that we can put on the wall. Shows the empty shelves there and the children there just not having a lot to eat. The country of Venezuela has been in the news a lot lately, mm-hmm. also, mm-hmm. and we know that they still have needs there. But what we did that year is we focused on our pastors' children, providing money for their school supplies, their needs, and we did that. And then we also showed the long lines that the people go through at the grocery store. We think we can zip right in and zip right out at the grocery, but in Venezuela, they stand in long lines and wait. Mm-hmm. And so that was some of the needs that we prayed for. And we always have prayer cards. One of the things I think is great to have is a prayer card. A card that shows the kids we want to pray for the government of Venezuela, that they'll have leaders that will care for their people. Mm-hmm. We wanted to pray for our pastors' families that year, and so we put these on the wall so that we remind us to pray. We can also send these cards home with the kids so that they know to pray. We pray for food. The long lines, no food. Even if they have money to go to the grocery, they don't have food to buy when they get there. And again, the greatest need is salvation. Mm-hmm. If we have food, that's great. We need that because if you have a growling stomach, you don't want to hear about anything. You want to eat.
Right.
But once we fed the children, we want to make sure that they know about God and that they know that Jesus Christ is their Savior.
Sure. And that's a great idea. I want to mention, Kathy, some of these ideas or similar ideas are available on the children's website. If you visit kogop.org/children, actually on the front page there we have a tab to a newsletter on involving children in missions. And you know, Kathy, as you mentioned prayer, I heard a story about a year ago that just was amazing to me. You know, recently another place in the world we've heard a lot about is North Korea. And I was with a representative of our friends at Child Evangelism Fellowship, and they began sharing that about 5 years ago, God put it on the heart of CEF's president to concentrate children's prayers on North Korea. So they began, as you said, talking about the needs, talking about ideas in directing kids' prayers, and actually about 70,000 children got involved through that organization of praying for North Korea. And so it's no surprise all of a sudden we start to hear things are happening in North Korea because tens of thousands of children have been praying for that nation. And so I think it is important that we, especially if it's in the news and kids are hearing about it, we can connect them through prayer to missions.
Right, exactly. And have an area in your children's ministry that's dedicated to missions. Not just the giving part of it, but the praying part. Having those prayer needs up there so that the children can stay aware of them.
Right.
The third thing, and the one we're going to talk about a little bit, and that you see all of our things here today, is on the giving part. One of the early projects we did was for Guatemala. The children in Guatemala were going to the dump to get food, and that's where they were eating out of the dump. And so we had a Dump the Dump project. We gave our children lunch bags to remind them that these children need a lunch. And so we partnered with a group there in Guatemala and provided lunches for a year for the children that were eating out of the dump. So the children, when they came to church, we can put the tag on there about the project. You can even put the prayer points on the back. And they can take this home, they can put their money in it, and it's easy for them to bring back with their offering. So that's one of the ways we can involve them in giving. Another is the Rice Bowls. Ricebowls.org is an organization that it's a feeding program. And you can go on the internet, Google ricebowls.org, and they will send you a free rice bowl that you can fill and send back money. Another thing, when we're talking about having that extra experience, is serving your children rice. They said, well, I don't, and we serve that for snack. They would not be real happy, but some people are excited because that's the only thing they have to eat. So the rice bowls are great. That's a great object lesson for them. Another project that we just did this last year in Helping Hands for Kids was called Shine. And give a dime and shine. And this is to help shine the light of Jesus Christ in the Czech Republic. The children there don't know about Jesus Christ. The country doesn't know about Jesus Christ. But through our giving, through the children's giving, they can shine. And one of the things you can do is just get the cheap water bottles. And these are from Oriental Trading, and they have a little light, and they can shine. I don't think you can see a little bit. Yeah, it'll shine, and they have a reminder that they can play with, that they can put on their backpacks to remind them to shine for Jesus and to share with others so that they can shine also. One of my favorite new things we have is our monkey. Now, our monkey does not have a name. If you have a name you'd like to suggest to help us name him, send it in, put it in the post, and we will look at those, and our children will help give him a name. We just call him the monkey right now. But he's in our Wednesday night preschool class.
I've got to do it, Kathy.
And yes, put some money in there, and it just goes right in there. We're trying to figure out how much money he will hold. Today we were having a discussion at lunch, and I think he will hold at least $60. That doesn't sound like a lot in the big scheme of things, but when you have preschoolers, they're excited about putting the money in there, and for them to raise that much will be a great thing. So give us some suggestions. I'll take them back to my preschool class, and I'll let Sean know what we named our monkey.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
The monkey. And then something that, these are specific for different projects, but you can have your globe here. You can buy these at most any store and get a globe bank, and that can be your ongoing mission giving container. So you can change your project out. You've got a different project on the wall, but there's, when the kids see the globe sitting there, they know that that's what we're going to be doing to raise our mission money, and that's a way they can give. And these are ways we can give globally. But we can also be involved in our communities. Our children don't have money. They don't have jobs usually, but they can also help by helping pick out something for someone who is in need. Think about our homeless shelters. Their number one item that they need is socks. There's a commercial on TV about giving. You buy a pair of socks, they'll donate a pair of socks. Well, you may not want to do that program. You may want to be more hands-on with your children. So take them to Walmart and let them pick out some good, warm, comfy socks, and then donate them to a homeless shelter. And that way they're involved in hands-on involvement. Another way is through prison ministry. Now, our children will not go to the prisons probably and minister, but our prison ministry, one of the men at our church is involved in, they need cookies. And so you can take your children to the store and they can pick out their favorite cookie, and they can take that to church, give it to the people for prison ministries, and then they can be a part of a prison ministry by donating cookies and knowing that someone is eating their favorite cookie. So kids can be involved in so many different ways. The last thing we want to do is to ask the kids to commit. You can draw handprints, make handprints. I'd found these a while back, and let them commit, whether they're going to pray, whether they're going to give, what they're going to do, but ask them to commit. Even our preschoolers can say, I will pray for missions. And last night, we were putting money in the monkey, and I asked one of the 4-year-olds, I said, what do we do with this money? And he said, we give it to poor people. So he could put his name on the hand that I will pray for poor people. I will give to poor people. They may not understand completely our projects, the young ones, but they can give. And our older children do understand. They can commit. And they can be involved in giving to missions and being a part of mission giving.
Absolutely. Well, you see why I said I brought you the best person to share on this today. I do love all those ideas, Kathy. And you know, we live in a unique time where kids really want to know how they can make a difference in their world. And so by letting them know about the needs of children around the world, how they live, exposing them to their culture, you know, by praying for them and then giving them the opportunity to give, we can help shape their worldview and how they can make that impact in the world. So thanks for sharing all that today. And again, go to the website, kogop.org/children, to find more ideas about how you can involve children in missions.